right, guys, what's going on? Clement Bryant here. We're live. This is Agents of Marvel from the Stream.TV studios in Hollywood, California. Guys, we got a lot to talk about with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and some Thor Ragnarok stuff with Infinity War. It's going to be a really good show, guys. Let's get into it because we have a lot to talk about. All right, guys. So since Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was off this week, we're going to spend a little bit of time on S.H.I.E.L.D., but then we're going to move into the more important things that happened in the last week. So, Curt.
Hey, guys. All right. Be prepared. This is going to be a very spoiler-heavy Luke Cage episode. I know a lot of my friends haven't finished it. Why? I don't understand. Because it's impossible to stop watching once you start. But be prepared. We're going to talk about everything Luke Cage, just about.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's jump into
we
this.
got a lot to talk about. So S.H.I.E.L.D., first things first. Since it was off this week, we kind of had a little bit of a lull. But there were still some interesting news buckets that dropped over the week. So first thing, the episode 3 synopsis. If we want to get into that real quick.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. You talk about it.
So, the synopsis. As Coulson, Mack, and Fitz attempt to track down and neutralize a rogue group looking to end inhuman registration worldwide, Simmons and Dr. Radcliffe only have hours to save May before she succumbs forever to her mysterious illness.
There we go. That's the big one. That before May succumbs. So it's going to be a very May-heavy episode, and it means May's going to come back a lot quicker than what we were kind of worried about. So May's coming back. Don't worry. We're going to have more of May. So that's episode 3 synopsis for next week, correct? Next Tuesday. So
next Tuesday. Okay. Now the synopsis for episode 4. Now this one is pretty interesting.
This one's very interesting. Actually, what's it called? That's my favorite part.
What's the episode called?
Yeah, do you know?
Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire.
Let Me Stand next to your fire.
I'm like, oh, love it. That's going to be dope.
Absolutely love it.
All right, so the synopsis. As Ghost Rider's quest for vengeance brings him into his closest confrontation with S.H.I.E.L.D., Coulson and Mack must rely on an unlikely ally in their time of desperate need, and Daisy reunites with a familiar face to stop the watchdogs.
All right, so we got 2 big ones.
What's going on with that?
We got 2 big ones. First one, the Coulson and Mack unlikely ally, it's got to be Ghost Rider, right? It's got to be Ghost Rider. That's what I'm guessing.
Right.
Now, the other one, though, is who is the, what was it? What was the Daisy reunites with the familiar face? So who's the familiar face? This one I don't even have a guess. I mean, there's so many people it could possibly be.
Agent Ward?
No.
Maybe? I don't know.
No. Hail Hydra says no on that
Hail
one.
Hydra.
It is not going to be Ward. And if it is, I'm turning it off. I'm letting you know right now, I'm going to turn it off if it's Ward. You know, it literally could be anybody. Is it going to be Yo-Yo? Is it going to be one of the other Inhumans? Who's it going to be? And I'm actually more excited for 2 weeks from now than I am for next week. So, you know, I can't wait to talk about that one. It hasn't even happened yet.
What about Lola?
All right, so this is what I'm happy about. When they dropped the synopsis for episode 4, they dropped some photos. And 2 of those photos, one of them is Mack leaning up against Lola, and the other one is Coulson and Mack right next to Lola. We haven't seen Lola since what? Season 1, season 2?
Season 1, season 2, maybe. Like, I remember that episode where they were dropped out of the plane in Sky at the time that she was known, and Coulson were near LA Live.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Lola. I even have a Lola Funko Pop.
See,
so
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of not only old cars, but of 63 Corvettes. I'm a huge fan of Lola. I am so excited that they haven't forgotten about the fact that Lola's there. Sure, Mac every now and then talks about it, like, hey, why don't you go let me work on Lola? But I want to see Lola. I want Lola to be another, like, Lola's a character as far as I'm concerned. And I want Lola to come back to the show. So I'm very excited about that.
We'll see. All right, guys, make sure you're using the hashtag Agents of Marvel on Twitter. We want to see what you guys are talking about.
Not just on Twitter.
And also comment below on YouTube.
Exactly.
It's going to be dope.
YouTube, hashtag Agents of Marvel. Come on, guys. We want that live discussion. We had, so real quick, last week we had someone throw out that, hey, Manape had been cast. And I was like, there is no possible way that the next character they decided to go with was Manape. So I just went, nope. Okay, you're right. Manape was cast. We're running a show here, people. I can't know everything.
Well, it was interesting. We're going to get into that later on.
Oh, no, we definitely will. I just wanted to bring it up now. So that shows you how interactive we will be, because you say something, there's a good chance we're going to comment on it.
Good point, Curt. All right, guys, we're about to get into the deep dive into Luke Cage Season 1. So this is going to be heavy spoiler.
Heavy spoiler.
Definitely a warning, because there's a lot that happened. If you have not watched the show, you might want to turn down your mic, because if you don't want to be spoiled. That said, let's get into it because there's a lot to talk about.
I've only watched the first episode, and then I was like, that's it. I'm just going to, wait. No, there's no possible way. I had to binge through it. Luke Cage, for my money, was just about perfect.
Right.
It was brilliantly done. And the main thing that everybody keeps talking about, that I'm going to talk about, and well, there's two main things. Oh, yeah. God, yeah. Brilliant. Was the music. This
music was so freaking good.
This show had the best music, best soundtrack of any non-musical TV show I can think of. Can you think of a show that has that kind of feel to it?
I can't really think of one off the top of my head right now. I would say that off the top of my head, maybe Game of Thrones has really good music in show, but in the battle scenes.
Score, yeah, exactly.
But not so much that.
But if you listen to any of these songs, it's almost like a Quentin Tarantino movie. If you hear any of these songs now, you instantly go back to that fight, that confrontation, that scene in Pops, like that scene in the club. It is perfect. It sets the tone. What
I really like what they did here is they didn't do fake musicians for the show. They did real life musicians. They had Charles Bradley, Sharon Jones, and the Dat Kings, Method Man.
Method Man. Pause right there. The Method Man scene was brilliant. We saw a little bit in the trailer, so I knew he was coming. I didn't know when.
Right.
But that's all I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was going to be like, hey, man, here's your hoodie, here's my hoodie, and that was the end of it. And then the very next scene, Method Man was there, does an amazing rap. Oh, it was incredible. And it was just like,
and the whole rap.
Oh,
dude,
so
I downloaded the rap today on my phone from my during my lunch break at work, and I couldn't stop listening to it because it is so good. I was just like vibing to it, knocking my head.
So good.
I wish I had my Basis card because I was about to get down.
So can I ask my deep question that I want to ask you now, or should we do it later? It's up to you. You can choose the time.
Fine,
I'm going to ask it.
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's go.
The second I saw Luke Cage, the second that the creator said, or the executive producer said, it is a bulletproof black man in a hoodie, and they were not going to shy away from that. So my question to you is, what does that mean for 2016 to have a bulletproof black man in a hoodie?
Well, I'm going to start it like this. Earlier this week, some news dropped that the hoodie in the first couple episodes from Luke Cage was actually a tribute based on Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin, yeah.
Which immediately got me. When I saw it earlier this year, I was like, okay, are they going towards Trayvon? Are they doing it? And to see that confirmation, that was great. But as a black man speaking in 2016, there are things about this show that it just got right. Like, me personally, I've been pulled over for being black before. I've dealt with that. Even me being dressed like this, speaking how I speak, on my way to my job, or my professional job, doing social media and marketing, I've been pulled over. I've had to get out of the car, raise my hands, and do all sorts of things. So
it's 2016.
Exactly.
It blows me away that that's even a thing right now. That it even has to be a conversation. That this topic should ever come up in 2016. Right. It's shocking. It's disgusting.
It's disheartening.
Yes, disheartening is perfect.
It's totally disheartening, especially when I watched the show, and there were immediate callbacks to me going through this kind of stuff, especially in the later parts of the episode where he has the cops a costume because he's a black man in a hoodie.
Yeah.
Like, alone, I felt like that was right, even before he lifted it up and slammed it against the car.
Did you think they were going to shy away from that kind of stuff because of what's in the news, sadly, almost every day in America? Or did you think they were going to go full head on like they did?
I think they were going to before I saw it, but when I saw the tone they were going for, there was no way that they could have shied away from it.
That's okay, perfect. That's what I was going to say. There's no possible way that they could say, oh, no, that's not real, that's not happening.
Right.
It is happening.
And I mean, even though that the Netflix series, basically the whole MCU lives on this heightened version of reality, I appreciate what S.H.I.E.L.D. Coker did. I appreciate what Mike Colter did. I appreciate what they did here because they are speaking to a wide array of audience and knowing what we're going through.
One more question, then we'll get back into the fun stuff, I swear.
No,
did you read Luke Cage as a kid?
Some issues, yes.
And what was that like for you to have I'm assuming, a positive role model that you could relate to, or that you hopefully could, live up to?
It was great because one of my first things that I thought, it was like, oh my God, here's a person of my color in a comic book being a hero and fighting for what's right, even though he might have been a hero for hire, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, yeah,
But like, that was a really inspiring thing to me. And honestly, that kind of set me on the path now of, getting a professional job and being to where I want to be and having the level of ambition that I want to do. Characters like Luke Cage, Black Panther, seeing these guys in comic book form was the best thing for me growing up as a kid.
I gotta say, there's one scene where there's a guy standing behind him with the gun to Luke Cage's head as he's looking at the building. And he said, he was just the perfect positive role model. He knocked it down in 2 seconds. And it was so well done. It was so positive, and it didn't take away from the character of Luke Cage. Like, it was part of the character of Luke Cage, and it made him even more powerful, in my opinion.
And I'm gonna say this when we get back to the spoiler
please.
things. The way that they focused on Black history in this series was so freaking
Do you
impressive.
know who Crispus Attucks was?
Exactly, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, yeah, so good.
And even when he was in the park with lifting Zip up, and I was just like, this is the coup de grace. This is exactly what this series needs to be, especially in 2016. So, Cheo, if you're watching, thank you so much for doing this series. It means so much to me and so much to people of my color. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Dude, thank you for answering the questions.
No
problem.
Let's
talk about some Easter eggs from Luke Cage.
All right,
can we?
so Easter eggs and Luke Cage. Let's get to it. All right, the original costume, guys.
Dude, remember how I said, God, I hope they don't do Power Man. Don't do Power Man. And then when they did Power Man, I was like, oh, God. And then instantly, you look like a damn fool. I was like, yes, perfect.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
You look like a damn fool, and he just has the chains.
Yep.
And you know what I saw today?
Tiara.
You know what I saw today? So when he's looking in the mirror in his apartment, the wallpaper has chains.
Does it really?
Exactly.
I didn't even notice that.
Shout out to Lauren Weeks, production designer for Luke Cage.
Oh, brilliant. So well done.
He tweeted, I was like, oh my God, how did I miss that?
I missed that too.
That is so
I
great.
completely missed it, but that was so good. Like the callbacks to costumes, not just his original costume, but Misty Knight's costumes, Diamondback's costume. Ugh. I don't like Diamondback's costume at all.
We're gonna get into Diamondback because I have a lot of issues about that. You see the costume here, right here. All right. So next Easter egg, the Collie Wing poster from Iron Fist, bruh.
So well done.
That was so good.
I was like, how are they gonna incorporate all of Luke Cage stuff? How are they gonna incorporate all of the Marvel Comic Universe stuff and still have it be Harlem?
Tell me
they
about
did it perfect. Perfectly. Stan Lee's poster. It was perfect Harlem. It built the world.
Exactly. And I love the fact that I saw the Easter egg for Colleen Wing. I'm a big Colleen Wing fan and Misty Knight fan. So seeing that, along with seeing Misty Knight in the series, that was so perfect for me. And I was just like, it was going to be amazing.
And Misty Knight was done so well. She was perfect.
She was great.
Beautiful.
What about that dress at the end?
Thank you. Oh my God.
There's too many Easter eggs to count in this show.
No, there really are. We're gonna have to cruise. We're gonna have to speed up. But the dress at the end, the perfect dress at the end with the triangle earrings.
Right.
It was.
You actually see part of it here. Like even the hair was a complete throwback.
It was Misty Knight. It was.
And it was
so perfectly done.
I was so happy when I saw it, and I was like, oh damn, they're about to go there.
I absolutely loved it. Now I will say my favorite Easter egg. Back to the Future Easter egg.
Oh, bro, that was crazy.
Who would have guessed they're going to bring in Back to the Future into it? So when Misty Knight's going through scrolling through the microfiche,
right?
There's a shot if you're like, oh, she's trying to figure out where Carl Lucas came from, but just to the right of it, there's a story, and in the newspapers from 1985, Back to the Future time, and it said Martin Brown commended. So not Doc Brown, but pretty damn close as they can come without copyright. And not only that, he got commended for building the thrust capacitor instead of the flux capacitor, which makes time travel happen. And it even mentions time travel in it a little bit. And then it even says with his teenage boy companion, Mac Fly. It's brilliant. That is you have to freeze frame it, and then you have to blow it up, and you have to read it. But it's there for the fans. And those are the kind of touches that when they do it for the fans, I absolutely love.
Yeah, guys, make sure, Agents of Marvel on Twitter and comment below. We're getting some really good comments. Andrew, I see your comments in the YouTube feed. We're going to get into all of your comments
Well, I want to
soon.
see his comments.
Let's
Oh
see
my
his
God,
comments
yes.
a little bit.
Go
So
job,
we're going to
Andrew.
get there. Give us some time, but we got a lot to talk about, man. All right. So next thing, part of Luke Cage, the Easter egg for the Judas bullets. That was huge.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like using the S.H.I.E.L.D metal as the basis for the bullets.
Bringing up Justin Hammer, who,
Right.
as you know, was sentenced to Seagate Prison at the end of Iron Man 2.
Totally.
You know, bringing him into the world, bringing up the incident or the Battle of New York, like
Right.
they talk about. Battle of New York is what how they refer to it on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The incident is how pretty much everybody else refers to it. And making that the bullet that can take down Luke Cage with S.H.I.E.L.D metal, brilliant.
Phenomenal.
So well done.
What about the Iron Man 3 homage? The first episode where he goes, I don't even like these dudes, man, and just runs off. Like, for you know what I'm talking about with Iron Man 3.
I know exactly,
He's like, I don't
yeah.
even like these dudes, they're so weird.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
No.
I was like, Iron Man 3 all the way.
Again, like, you can watch Luke Cage as a casual fan and absolutely love it. You can watch Luke Cage as a lifelong Luke Cage comic book fan and find 10,000 more things to like about it.
Right.
That's what I like. I like it when they do the layers. I like how well they do the universe.
Right. All right, so I think we're done with Luke Cage if there's any, oh wait,
Well-
Diamondback.
All right, do you want to talk about Diamondback
Yeah,
right now?
we're going to talk about Diamondback and then we're getting to this.
Cool.
I love Diamondback. I'm going to say it. I love Diamondback. I don't understand. Yes, he might have been a little over the top, but he's a religious fanatic. What would you expect?
No. The acting was great. The craziness of the character, even though they were trying for a little bit of a Joker kind of craziness, worked because, like you said, because he was a religious zealot.
Right.
The costume is what didn't work. That was the one costume that didn't work.
You're
for
talking
me.
about the final costume
final
with the green and the
costume.
yellow?
Yep.
And the helmet?
All right.
It was an Easter egg to the comics. I didn't hate it.
It was, but I thought they could have toned it down a little bit more. And I'm sorry, I'm Luke Cage. There's a guy that has a face shield and a helmet and then a chin strap. And I cannot figure out how to defeat him because the costume stops, it's powerful. So I can't, it's he's taking my punches.
Right.
I'm gonna put my hand like this and I'm gonna go bink right here and just crush your freaking skull. And boom, you're dead. I mean, come on. He had him right up against it. All Luke Cage had to go, boop, smush, swirl it around, brain dead, gone. Moving on. It's a bad costume.
I like
costume.
Diamondback. I like Diamondback, especially Eric LeRae Harvey playing him.
Oh,
he
love
came
him.
out of nowhere. Exactly. And like my big thing, especially for them killing Cottonmouth off in episode 7. Huge
shocker.
I'm so happy that I can actually talk about this now because when I saw that a couple months ago,
Huge.
I was like, wait, did they just kill Cottonmouth?
So wait, you got this brilliant villain that's an amazing villain, and you killed him off halfway through. Okay, sure, let's see where this goes.
And then you have Diamondback, which to me, yes, he might have been a little over the top. I'll agree with that. But
I was fine with
for
that.
him going to that, and then the whole personal relationship with him being Luke Cage's half brother.
Oh yeah,
like
it was great.
Come on.
I don't think there was a weak actor. Usually, like when the acting is so well done, I try to find the weak link in the acting. I couldn't find the weak link in the acting. I thought Theo Rossi as Shades was amazing. I thought I can't think of the other actor from Sons of Anarchy who was Domingo. Amazing.
Yeah.
Like their choices were really bold and
Casting was great.
Technically shouldn't have worked in a couple of spots. Worked flawlessly.
Let's move on. So yesterday, Iron Fist date reveal dropped. Finally.
March
right?
17th,
March
man.
17th, 2017.
Now,
guys.
correct me if I'm wrong, and someone please feel free to check this because I think I'm right. But
What?
isn't that St. Patrick's Day? It's an
I
odd
think it
choice. It's an
is.
odd choice to get incredibly trashed and then watch some guy punch a bunch of people.
Hey, man,
like that
I'm
is St.
watching
Patrick's
Iron
Day
Fist.
to the
that would
key,
be
yeah.
amazing. But no, and I mean, even they released a still of him kicking some ass yesterday.
Oh, dude,
too.
that
like,
jump
seeing
punch?
it, I was like,
What is
oh,
it about
shit.
what is it about the jump punch that makes it the coolest punch ever? Like I'm sick of the landing where you land
uppercut?
on the knee, but that jump punch is always cool.
I
it
loved
always
it, man.
looks good.
I loved it. So that's gonna happen March 17th. Oh, big thing. New York Comic Con is this weekend.
Yes.
So there's gonna be a lot of news dropping.
There's gonna be a lot of news dropping.
A lot. There's a Iron Fist screening and panel. There's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel. There's Marvel animation going on.
I was going to say, there's a lot of
stuff
Marvel
going
news
on.
that we'll be talking about next week. So we're going to have to cruise through the review like next week.
Yeah,
But yes.
let's do this. Punisher starts filming.
Oh, yeah. Punisher started filming. So I guess Punisher is filming for Punisher and not for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and not for another show?
We don't know.
That seems weird.
And
It just seems odd.
You know what is weird too is there's only been 2 people announced for Punisher so
Announced
far.
for the cast, yeah.
Ben Barnes is the villain.
Yeah.
And then John Bernthal himself.
And they announced the showrunner, which I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But you're right, like, there's not enough info yet to start filming, which leads me to believe that they're just doing that to throw people off the trail that Punisher's popping up somewhere else.
Maybe.
In the Marvel Universe. I hope so.
We'll see. All right, big thing, and then we're going to get into the movieverse. Claire Temple.
Love Claire. Love everything about Rosario Dawson. Love you.
Do you think they're going to kill her off in The Defenders?
Yes.
Not that I want this to happen at all.
Neither of us want this to happen.
I don't want this to happen. But it was interesting because one of my friends said, bruh, she's kind of the glue that holds the whole Marvel Netflix thing together.
She is, she is the connector of the universe right now. She is the connector. And the only way that she can be effectively used is if she lives or dies for something. And I think she's going to end up dying for something because she's not becoming...
Or maybe she'll get taken over by the Hand. Because they're rumored, because that teaser that they dropped back in Comic-Con was like, you know, Styx saying, the 4 of you guys, you can barely, you know, fight yourself. You can barely, you know, handle yourself. So I don't know what's going to happen.
It is a possibility.
I think they might kill her off.
Look, thematically, if they're going for that kind of justice, you know, Claire's dead. We need to avenge Claire. Who better to avenge somebody than them?
Right.
She's going to die, and I don't want her to.
Told me about it. All right, guys, time for the movieverse.
Here we go.
All right, so 2 new additions into the Black Panther movie.
Love it.
Winston Duke.
Yep.
Playing M'Baku.
Yep.
And then Andy Serkis reprising his role from Age of Ultron as Ulysses Klaue.
Can we take a second to say how amazing Andy Serkis is in everything?
Andy Serkis is freaking dope, man.
If you have a motion cap character and it is not being acted by Andy Serkis, you're doing your motion cap character wrong.
I will agree with that. I will completely agree with that.
Brilliant.
He's so great. And then Winston Duke. Man, if anybody's seen Person of Interest,
yes,
the dude is villainous as all hell. And I was excited that he finally got cast in something bigger than a TV show.
Oh, God, me too.
Now, where I'm not so sure about is them doing M'Baku, a.k.a. Manape.
Manape. Again, sorry.
I was surprised. I was very surprised by that, especially with the whole race connotations around man-ape.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. If anybody can't overcome that, it's Marvel.
Look, Marvel just overcame a big backlash of, is Luke Cage racist against black people? Is Luke Cage racist against white people?
Totally.
And now they're choosing Manape. Like, that's a bold move on their part.
That's a really bold move.
A bold move. Now, real quick, Andrew is in our YouTube channel, and he's agreeing that, you know, he doesn't want it to happen either, but it seems like that's where it's going. Yep.
Maybe.
She is the Coulson of Hell's Kitchen. She
I
is.
mean, she
we
is.
agree.
I mean,
100%.
she is. She's in every freaking series. Like, how could she not be the Coulson of the Marvel Netflix universe?
Blame Justin Hammer for making a less cool, less powerful Iron Man suit. Yes.
I see you, Mikey.
I'm with you, 100%.
All right. So, guys, we need to take the following with a grain of salt and possible spoilers for the following MCU films below.
Look, we don't know anything about what we're about to we don't have any firm commitments on anything we're about to talk about. So, again, huge grain of salt, big spoilers possibly. I wouldn't blame you if you gave us a minute and didn't listen to us. Because if you don't like spoilers, give us 1 minute and we'll be done with the spoilers.
All right, so Spider-Man Homecoming finishes filming.
Yes.
Excited. John Watts went on his Instagram account, put a white balloon, and took a permanent marker and did this whole Spidey mask on it to announce they're finished filming. I'm totally excited. I can't wait for this movie to come out.
Look, Spider-Man was brilliant in Civil War. I did have a friend, I was talking about this earlier, I did have a friend who said he was brilliant in Civil War because they used him sparingly. Who knows if he can hold the movie? I personally think he can. I think he's the best Spider-Man they've ever done. And like you were saying, they got Tony Stark to fall back on.
I mean, they have Marissa Tomei.
Fantastic.
You have Robert Downey Jr.
Always good.
Bokeem Woodbine. We'll get into that later.
Okay. No, we can do it right now. No. Bokeem Woodbine. All right, so the Shocker. The Shocker. There's your spoiler right there.
Okay, so
the Shocker.
Spider-Man villains. Yeah, Shocker.
Yeah. You got Michael Keaton, Vulture.
Rumored
Vulture. Possibly Vulture.
Yeah.
Who else we got?
We have Michael Chernus as the Tinkerer.
Oh, it's a Tinker. Yeah.
That's going to be huge, especially playing in to the Vulture because of that tech suit that they showed at Comic-Con.
That was the one that you told me about that I had no idea the Tinker was in there.
Yeah. And
I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
There's a possible fourth villain, Logan Marshall Green. If anybody has watched The OC, he played Ryan Atwood's brother, older brother. I like Logan Marshall Green, and he's going to be great as a villain. Now, who's going to play has not been revealed yet.
Yeah.
And they're saying that he's not going to be a superpowered individual. He's going to be someone on the sidelines in Peter Parker's personal life.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. Is he going to be a villain, or is he just going to be a bully, a dick, Marissa Tomei's love interest? Like, I don't know, but I'm saying, like, is he going to be a villain, or is he just going to be a dick in the movie? Like, they have room for that villain-esque dick part of it as well.
We'll see.
But yes, spoiler over. Come back to us.
Not over yet.
What else?
Elders and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That's true.
And Thor Ragnarok.
This is true.
So, if anybody's watched Guardians of the Galaxy, you guys know the Collector that was played by Benicio del Toro.
Yep.
So he was an elder in
Yep.
Guardians. They're very powerful extraterrestrial aliens, of course, and basically they've been around as long as the galaxy's been around.
Yeah.
So the rumor is that somehow Stallone's character will figure into it as an elder.
Sure.
Sharon Stone, who hasn't been announced or confirmed, Elizabeth Debicki's Aisha character, and they're saying that the Collector might be in it too. And this is all coming from the Schmoes Know yesterday.
Yeah, and again, we don't know, but it seems like it's pretty legit. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens with that.
Another possible person popping up in the Marvel universe, Sigourney Weaver.
Huge news that really no one dropped on today. She basically said in a press report saying, when asked about being in a Marvel movie, she was like, I can't say.
Yeah, it was a throwaway comment
I was like,
that spoke volumes. As a huge Aliens fan, as a huge Ghostbusters
Ripley,
fan,
man. Come on
oh my
now.
God, I want Sigourney Weaver in everything anyway, but like her in a Marvel movie, yes, please.
Definitely. And then they figured that the elders will figure into Thor Ragnarok because of Jeff Goldblum's character of being the Grandmaster.
Yep.
So who knows what
There's just a lot we don't know.
There's
We don't know anything, is what we're saying.
We got to keep going. Star-Lord's major role in Infinity War.
Yeah. Not only Star-Lord's major role in Infinity War, that it sounds like they cut the rest of the Guardians out.
No, because I saw from the Schmoes, the whole report was basically he's going to be the main part of the Guardians in Infinity War, but he's going to be that link to introduce them into the movie.
I think that he's going to be the link. I don't think they're going to be in the movie. I really think they're going to use Chris Pratt as the Paul Rudd from Civil War, as the comic relief, as the one-liners. I mean, that's what Star-Lord pretty much is anyway, but I think, and they would be smart to do this, to give that little bit of lightheartedness, that little like, oh my God, look at this dude. Because Star-Lord doesn't know anything about these guys. His world is out there.
What is with Giving Tree over here?
Yeah, exactly.
So
he doesn't know anything about these people, so it would make sense to have him be that kind of fish out of water kind of guy.
Totally. Last part of the movieverse. Time Stone confirmed for Doctor Strange? Question mark? I don't know.
I think it's confirmed.
Well,
that last trailer.
That last trailer that dropped yesterday and the one that dropped today too were in reverse. That was a direct call to the Time Stone. Come on.
Split second recap of that. You release a trailer and you do it in reverse. That is brilliant marketing. You know your audience at this point. Because anybody that's going to go, what the hell did I just watch? Like, that's brilliant.
And even IGN and Slashfilm reversed the trailer.
They reversed the reverse.
And was like, oh, wait.
It was so well done.
And there were so many clues. Even the copy.
So well
I've done copy like that before when I was doing posts on social. But to basically tie it in with that is amazing.
Come on, guys. Jump in on these conversations. You can do it live on YouTube, #AgentsOfMarvel, and also on Twitter. So let's jump into these conversations, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. Time for Comic Verse. So, first things up. Civil War issue 2. We talked about issue 5 yesterday with Miles Morales, or last week.
Oh, so we did?
Yeah, with Miles Morales killing Hydra Cap. So, FYI, don't miss Civil War 2 issue 6.
When's the release date? Did you already say it?
October 26th.
October 26th, okay.
Don't miss it.
I won't.
Don't miss it.
All right.
Hey, bruh.
Hey, I won't.
Hey, bruh. Okay, New Comics Wednesday. So guys, a lot of major comics dropped today.
Yeah.
Number one, Deadpool Back in Black. He merged with the symbiote that was also with Peter Parker.
That's weird. That's just cool. That's
Yay,
weird. I love
That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be way interesting.
That's going to be very
Who's
interesting.
taking over what on that one? Like, is his
Like
inner monologue going to be
Deadpool?
the same? Like, what the hell?
I look like a Sharpay cross with Ryan Reynolds.
So well done.
Great.
So well done.
All right. Next thing. All new Wolverine, Enemy of the State 2. That's going to happen. That's interesting. I need to read that one.
Yeah, and while we're on Wolverine, I know we're in the comic verse, but we have to just for a split second because we don't know anything really about it. The news about Logan, the poster with him holding the hand
girl.
with the yeah, exactly.
You know what I think that is? X-23.
Ooh.
Dude, if it is not
Calling it out
X-23,
now.
a little girl holding his hand with the claws down, that is
Calling it out now.
Calling it
and
now.
And I agree with you. But
Like-
it's going to be a while before we find out.
That they have Mr. Sinister figuring into the plot.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And the rumor is
It's
Caliban
brilliant.
is going to be played by Stephen Merchant.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
And last but not least, I know I kind of sidetracked us from the comic verse, but we also
Yeah.
had Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. So, guys, Brian Michael Bendis did a new Jessica Jones series that you have to read. Everything I'm hearing about it is great. My friends over at Let the Marvel Report say it's really good. My friends back in DC say it's good. I need to read this, but don't miss this, especially now that she has her own Netflix series.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely need to be watching that.
Definitely.
Or reading it. And, of course, we didn't have an image for it, but Cage #1 dropped with the old costume.
That is true.
So the guy that was behind Dexter Laboratory is doing the illustrations for it. And I'm so freaking excited for it. I need to read it, but we'll get into it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so hero villain of the week. We didn't agree on this last week.
We did not. You were wrong last week.
How was I wrong?
You just wrong.
No. Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, 100%.
It is obviously Luke Cage.
Look, you want to call him a hero? He's a hero. You want to call him a villain? He's a villain. Like, that is the perfect hero and villain of the week. 100% Luke Cage. It's not Diamondback. It is Luke Cage
It
for
is
both.
Luke Cage.
For both.
Luke Cage, to me, not only the character, but the series, is a mix of blaxploitation,
Oh, yes.
70s music,
Oh, yeah.
90s music, Harlem Renaissance, politics, superhero movie. There were times when I was watching the series that I forgot I was watching something that was based in comic book lore, which was huge for me.
All right.
I was very happy about that.
So for you to say that, there were times when I was watching the series, I forgot I was watching a series and thought I was watching a movie. Cinematically, beautiful. Everything, beautiful.
Great.
Yep.
Great. So we agree. We gotta wrap it up. So we agree. Luke Cage, guys. If
Thank
you
you,
haven't
guys.
binged it, watch it. All right, guys. Agents check in. Fans comment and talk. We're gonna get to your questions on YouTube right now. Let's do this.
Look, everybody's just basically agreeing with us. We got Mikey agreeing it's X-23. Oh, Mikey's saying if it's not X-23, he's gonna be so disappointed. Andrew's saying
about
it's gonna be X-23. Everybody's agreeing with us.
Good
That's
call.
because we're right.
Good call?
Yeah.
Very good call.
Good call on you guys' part. Yeah.
Some of the people are saying all the way back to the beginning of the episode when we talked about that familiar face that Daisy's going to be, that it's going to be Hellfire. The Inhuman?
It very well could be. It's going to be a callback, and that would not
next to your
surprise me at all.
fire.
Yep.
I thought that might be Ghost Rider, but that's actually
very
good.
well could be Hellfire.
Shout out to Lauren Galloway and Cedric for bringing that out because that's actually pretty good.
Excellent. I think we did it.
That. We did that, and I think we're pretty much good. I just want to check one last question.
You do what you gotta
Andrew's
do.
posting a lot in here. Thank you so much, Andrew. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate this.
Thank you guys for also giving us a chance
Yeah.
for this Luke Cage very heavy spoiler episode. If you haven't watched Luke Cage and you haven't really watched this episode, don't worry. This episode will be up on YouTube. Please feel free to watch it whenever you get a chance.
Definitely, and definitely come back to it after you finish the series.
Yep.
And I just got to shout out Alfred Woodard playing Maria Dillard.
Yep.
Maria Dillard, perfect.
Excellent.
Done. All right, guys, that's going to be it for episode 3 of Agents of Marvel. Thank
That's
you
it for
so
us.
much for tuning in, especially with S.H.I.E.L.D. being off this week. We're going to have a lot of Marvel news that's going to come back next week, so come back. Ask questions, Agents of Marvel, throughout the week.
Yeah,
We're
hashtag
gonna be
Agents of
here.
Marvel,
and
guys.
comment on our YouTube video when it posts. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, guys.